Tifa is the second Neo Vision character to be released. Unlike Cloud, you can easily get her with the unit of choice tickets. But if you take advantage of a limited offer, you may not have to at all. But we're here for a reveal. Let's quickly go over Tifa's abilities. First off, some of Tifa's abilities may look terrible. Look at this 60% Impero. But Tifa can get her abilities awakened. This particular Impero can be increased to 120%. So let's proceed. First up, Beat Rush. It's weak. Somersault. Pathetic. Water Kick. Literally the equivalent of Splash. Meteor Drive. Worthless. Wave Spike. Okay, so the Stardust Ray attack's kind of interesting. It can increase the damage of her water abilities by 10%, which is kinda similar to Angel of Death Kuja's Super Trustmaster reward. Dolphin Blow may look bad, but you can raise it so that the Impero becomes 120%. Meteor Strike. I'm sorry, didn't we just cover a worthless ability? Objection! This one's more important than it might first appear. You see, it raises the limit burst gauge by a random amount. But here's the thing. Tifa's limit burst is cheap. It's almost half of what Cloud needs. Also, it happens to be the only way she remains relevant. Alright, next. Zangan combination looks like it should be good. But it doesn't chain with anything, so it's pretty bad. Final Heaven was pretty important. Not anymore. Onto her cooldown abilities. Overdrive can be awakened into something far more relevant. But it doesn't really matter with Neo Visions now. 7th Heaven could also be awakened. And, well, it increased the damage modifiers of Final Heaven. That really isn't useful now either. So how was Tifa? She was great for a period of time. Then she fell out of relevance. And now she has a Neo Vision. With this, she's gained some new abilities. First off is the Triple Cast. Believe it or not, that wasn't there before. Next is Meteor Crusher, a Stardust Ray chaining ability that deals damage. Hot Fever dispels any attack breaks on herself, increases her attack by 250%, and refills 200 MP each turn. Finally, Sonic Combo Chains of Divine Ruination. It can be used up to 3 times in a battle. Let's look at her Limit Burst. Limit Ryu's, well, yeah, it's not that great. Now to Transform. That's so half-hearted. Anyways, now that she's in a dress, Tifa gets the ability to lose most of her actives. That's not a flaw. Hot Fever has probably been turned into Concentration, which increases her attack by 300%, lets her deal water damage, and increases her limit burst gauge by 3/4 of its max capacity. She also gets Unleash Fighting Spirit, which increases her limit burst damage by an impressive 150%. But if you thought that was great, take a look at the next ability. Sonic Combo has been replaced with Awakened Fighting Spirit. It massively boosts her limit burst damage and imperos the enemy's water resistance by 120%. Zangan-style defensive stance mitigates general damage by 75% for 2 turns. This is actually pretty useful, and it's not a bad idea to incorporate it into your moveset when necessary. Crashing Waves breaks the enemy's defense by 80% and throws in the 120% water impero. Now let's look at her limit burst. It's not particularly noteworthy, but when you apply the rest of her buffs, it just outdamages every other thing in the game. Let's talk about her passives. She has a decent amount of limit burst fill buffs in her initial stage, but nothing that really improves her damage output. But when she transforms, she gains an Aquatic and Human Killer, and gains an increased evasion rate. As you might be able to tell, her dressed up form is far better suited to dealing damage than her initial form. But unlike Cloud, her Brave Shift form has a turn limit for whatever reason, so like it or not, you're going to have to spend some time with her original form. Well, let's make a rotation. Use Dolphin Blow, Wave Spike, and Meteor Crusher. Next up, on turn 2, use Concentration, Awaken Fighting Spirit, and Meteor Crusher. On turn 3, use her Limit Burst. I don't see why it wouldn't be filled up to this point. On turn 4, she's back to her original state. You may as well just fill up her Limit Burst with Meteor Strike. On turn 5, get that dress back on and use her Limit Burst. On turn 6, use Concentration and dual cast Meteor Crusher. At this junction, you're back to the starting point, so just begin again from turn 1. So how good is Tifa? As a finisher, she's absolutely insane. She outclasses everyone else by her 3rd turn. As such, you want to build her 2nd form as a Limit Burst damage dealer, and use the first as, well, a regular chainer. That form's not going to deal that much damage anyways, and her limit burst gauge fills up quickly enough that specialized equipment isn't necessary. As you can tell, Tifa's a pretty simple character, but she's a highly effective one at that. Thanks for watching, and if you liked this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Comment below if you never pulled Tifa before. She's in the unit of choice pool, and at the moment of this video's release, there's an event going on that will let you get everything you need to put her at the doorstep of Neovisions. Hold up. Wait a second. Am I seeing things? No, it can't be. Did it really skimp out? She's not wearing a dress, that's her normal sprite.